The night in Gotham was restless, thunder flashing across the sky but no rain falling. Former Commissioner James Gordon sat in his patrol car, sipping coffee from his new partner, Officer Espinoza. He reminded her that he was just Officer Gordon now, no longer the commissioner, and when lightning lit up the streets, they both saw something leap across the storm. A massive crocodile-like figure slammed into a nearby meat truck. Espinoza reached for her weapon, but Gordon stopped her, calmly advising to call it in. "In Gotham, you always wait for backup," he said, already knowing what kind of trouble they were facing. At Arkham Towers, Batman stood in front of a gaping hole in the wall of the secure ward that had once contained Waylon Jones. Wind whipped at his cape as Dr. Zeller explained that Croc had checked himself in for treatment and technically wasn't even a prisoner. Batman, hardened by years of disappointment, reminded her that Waylon Jones and Killer Croc were no longer the same person. She showed him evidence of his mutation and mental regression, describing him as childlike, almost innocent. But Batman knew that innocence meant danger when combined with such power. As he prepared to leap into the night, he ordered her to stall the police if they arrived first. If Croc was cornered by force, he'd be killed before anyone could understand what was happening. Meanwhile, Gotham's new commissioner, Vandal Savage, introduced the police to his secret weapon, a line of armored tactical officers borrowed from the world of private security. He told his force to rely on these units whenever they faced augmented criminals. Officers muttered in unease as Savage declared Batman's days numbered. Gotham's justice, he promised, would not spare him forever. While Savage hardened the city's police, Batman sped through the streets in the Batmobile, guided by a holographic Alfred. He followed his instincts to Robinson Park, where two women were being chased by thugs. The Batmobile's headlights scattered the gang, and Batman finished the fight in seconds. His presence was grim, protective, and when one of the women trembled, he noticed a rare butterfly land on her shoulder. Out of place, far from home, Batman scanned it silently, knowing it was a sign of something unnatural happening in the city tonight. After securing the women under the Batmobile's protection mode, he tracked Croc's trail to the Natural History Museum. Inside, a terrified guard and two civilians froze in fear. Batman calmed them, urging them out quietly. He demanded they contact Dr. Zeller instead of the police, because guns and sirens would only trigger Croc further. Following a path of blood and half-eaten carcasses, Batman prepared his gauntlets for battle as he entered the shattered exhibit hall. Croc roared when he saw him, but then the roar softened into something else. His hulking form was surrounded by butterflies, his animal eyes strangely childlike. He told Batman to leave. Alfred's calm voice wondered if perhaps Croc was not entirely lost, if something within him had regressed to innocence. Batman hesitated, then powered down his gauntlets. He even removed his cowl and sat beside the creature he had once fought countless times. Croc, holding what remained of a zoo animal, admitted in shame that he was bad, that he couldn't control himself. Batman didn't scold him. Instead, he spoke quietly of the giant T-Rex exhibit towering above them, telling Croc he once had one in his home too. For a moment, they weren't enemies. They were two broken souls staring up at something bigger than themselves. Dr. Zeller arrived with Croc's stuffed dinosaur, holding it out gently. She offered him a choice: to come home and let her help. Croc struggled but finally agreed, handing Batman the toy and following her back to Arkham. Batman pulled his cowl back on and watched silently. Later, in the quiet of his bunker, Bruce placed the stuffed dinosaur on a shelf. A strange trophy, not of victory, but of understanding. He allowed himself a brief smile before the bat radio crackled to life. Robin's voice, urgent, filled the cave. He asked if there were still police allies they could count on. Batman's voice hardened immediately. Something in Robin's tone was wrong. Across the city, Robin stood with his hands raised as armed Gotham officers held him at gunpoint. The war for Gotham's soul was shifting, and Batman knew the night was far from over.